Good morning, fellow graduates. My name is Bethany Perez, and I'm one of the graduates in the group of continuing education students, or non-traditional students, students completing our degrees outside of the traditional four-year track. Those of us in the GCE program were probably very different, but our similarity is that our education paths were not the same as most people. We weren't the 18-year-olds entering college, fresh out of high school, ready for the world. For better or worse, we encountered obstacles that could have kept us from achieving higher education. Job loss, complicated family situations, growing families, which I'm doing right now. My journey included all of these. I went from being homeschooled in Missouri to earning my GED to getting married by the time I was 18. I worked in various industries for several years, including restaurants, childcare, sales, and most recently finance in the accounts receivable department, but the desire to get a fuller education was always there. I knew I wanted to challenge myself beyond what I had experienced so far. When my job was outsourced overseas in mid-2021, I was given the opportunity to earn my degree in 2.5 years, something I thought would never happen. I already had one child, and when classes started in 2022, I was newly pregnant with my second. To say that I was apprehensive about doing well and actually graduating is an understatement. I had no education outside of being taught at home with my 4 siblings by our mom. But I knew I could learn in a self-taught environment with limited outside responsibilities. But now, as an adult with kids in a formal classroom environment, I thank God I didn't let that stop me. Here's a funny little story I want to mention involving my daughter, Lydia. Since she was basically a baby, she's seen me leave and go to my classes. I've told her, Mama's got to go to school now. So I guess I've earned it, but she'll kick me out of the house or her room and tell me she has so much school to do. Funny, but I think we can all relate in some way. Who's watching you work for your goals? If my daughter, who's not even 4, is watching and aware of me working hard to earn something, I'm sure you all have people in your lives watching you work for your dream. You might not be working for them, but whatever your motivating factor is, you're setting an example of hard work to everyone around you. Don't limit yourself with your own expectations. Instead, keep challenging yourself to defy the limits you've subconsciously put on yourself or allowed others to put on you. I've had every reason not to get a degree. Growing up, only my dad was supportive of college. I found out recently his entire college journey was also as a GCE student, which is pretty cool to me. Although I expect my personal experience is not identical to yours, and I hope it's not, we can all identify with aspects of unique challenges that adult students face. For many of us, this experience was not typical because we had to juggle adult responsibilities. There were no weekend parties, no sororities, no clubs, but we finished. We pushed through the challenges, and I think that's the most impressive part about the program for continuing education students. Thank you to my husband, William, for supporting me through this journey, for watching our kids when I had to study or just needed some peace. If I just needed some peace and quiet after a rough day, or even if he had a rough day too. To my professors, especially my accounting professors, Mira Mazziota, Ellen Rackus, and Trevor Knox, who encouraged me and motivated me to keep pushing. And to my dad, who couldn't make it today, thank you for encouraging my desire to keep learning and setting that example. And thank you to Muhlenberg College School of Continuing Studies for working with me to pick the right classes at the right time for my crazy schedule and family life. And to everyone here, keep learning, keep growing, and never stop challenging yourself to do more than you think you can. Congratulations, class of 2024.